Hey, what it be? It's your boy Dre OG, man. Welcome back to the OG family, man. Go ahead, smash that like button on your way in, man. We create nothing but good vibes over here, baby. But look, we got these worst bug infested houses. Look, man, let me know in the comments down below. Have you ever been to somebody's house and they ain't warn you that they had some type of bugs going on in their shit? I'll tell y'all my story at the end of this, man. I got a lot of them, by the way. That's not even a good thing, is it? It's not nothing to brag about. I know the people with the most roaches. Like, fuck.
As the old saying goes, there's no place like home. But while you may love your home for its warmth, comfort, and security, so can a whole host of creepy crawlies. Left unchecked, swarms of stink bugs, tons of termites, and even barrels of bees can move in, and worse, take over. Although the scale of some infestations are way more gross and scary than others.
God.
So take a deep breath and try not to
That
bark
shit is
as we take a look at some of the worst bug-infested houses ever. Cockroach Calamity. On a May morning in 2017, serviceman Philip Todd answered a call to a house in Atlanta, Georgia. Philip didn't think he'd have to deal with anything more than a faulty boiler or a broken faucet. But when he arrived, he found himself face to antenna with a much more nauseating problem. The house was overrun with cockroaches.
Ooh, you can almost hear them, bro. They talking and shit. Oh, they bold. They all on the floor.
The walls, the ceiling, the floor. Nowhere was safe. And it was clear whoever lived there was happily living alongside this insane infestation. Ugh. Now, you might be judging that homeowner for not cleaning their home and getting rid of the roaches.
Yes, we are.
Cockroaches are hard to catch. They're fast, with American cockroaches able to move at speeds of up to 50 body lengths per second. That's the equivalent of a human running at speeds of up to 210 miles an hour. And roaches have no problem living in large numbers either. There's no way of telling how many Philip had to deal with, but in 2019, thousands of roaches were discovered in a single sewer manhole over in Australia. So at least he wasn't there. Able to use even the smallest openings, they can infest almost anywhere, as Anastasios Theoharis discovered. The construction worker was working on a house in Sydney, Australia, when he noticed the property's telephone was out of use. Spotting what looked like dirt beneath the casing, Anastasios pried it open and was met with one nasty surprise.
Ain't no motherfucking way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Oh my God. They moving. Oh, he moving them.
Well, I think we can safely say that phone has been bugged.
Those things crammed themselves in there so hard, bro, that they cannot get themselves out. Y'all think they just went in there just to die? That is insane, bro. Like, shouldn't nobody crib be like that? Shouldn't nobody have to live like that? Give me a box, bro. Fuck these roaches.
Bed bugs bite. Considering New York City is the 12th most bed bug infested city in the whole of America, the terminators of NIGHTM's Global Pest Solutions must have thought they'd seen it all. But even these seasoned professionals admitted that one case from 2014 counted as unquestionably the worst thing they'd ever seen.
Now that we moved that, they're gonna have nowhere to go. So you see they're just going in a circle. They're not really running too far.
Blech. With bugs and blood splattered throughout the entire house, these terminators were stunned at the sheer scale of the untreated infestation. The bed bugs hadn't just swarmed the mattress. They were also peppered all over the pillowcases, splattered up the walls, and even infested the bathroom. Ugh, I'm getting itchy just looking at this. Now, bed bugs usually feed by sucking our blood while we sleep, so where better for them to nest than our mattresses? And the longer the problem is left untreated, the more they reproduce. Makes you wonder how long this person hadn't cleaned their house for, considering the huge number of bugs gathered here. I'd be surprised if they had any blood left in their body. Well, even if you try and...
Right, because you got to think about that, bro. They sucking this dude's or whoever blood that's laying there. And that's nothing but their blood on the mattress from these bugs just eating their ass alive. Just imagine that.
Starve bed bugs to death, they can survive for almost 5 months before that happens. And all that time they'll be waiting, laying egg after egg after egg, growing in both number and hunger. Thank God that's not your house, right? Well, it could be. You see, it's estimated bedbugs are present in 19% of public transportation systems, 35% of hospitals,
What?
45% of college dorms, 46% of offices, 47%
What?
of schools and daycare centers, and a whopping 59% of homes. So chances are you're dealing with a bedbug infestation right now. While they may not grow to the monumental numbers they've achieved in this footage, 1 in 5 Americans will have to deal with a bedbug infestation at some stage in their lives. Time to burn absolutely everything I own, I guess.
Right, it comes, bro, this shit, look, we had a scare with bed bugs, man, before in the past. And it was crazy, man. Like, it almost made us fall out with like close relatives, friends type shit. Because, you know, you had a person doing something for you and they don't notify you that they have bed bugs. Then all of a sudden you're getting signs of bed bugs, or you see one in your house and shit. Now everybody's freaking out. That shit is serious.
While I'm busy nuking my house, why don't you get busy hitting those like and subscribe buttons below? Go on, you knew you want to. Well done. I knew you were my favorite for a reason.
Make you lose
All
friends,
right,
man.
what horrors have we got next? The house of 100% no. If you suffer from arachnophobia, look away now. Okay, can't say I didn't warn you.
Ooh, them daddy long legs though, but them shits is creepy. They can't hurt you though. Ooh, they just falling. Oh yeah, you got me fucked.
Yep, that's not clumps of furry mold growing on the ceiling of this outdoor hut. That's spiders.
That look like some shit when you walk into a black barbershop, you see all that damn, the afro, the hair and shit on the floor. But that shit right here is spiders, y'all.
Piliones to be precise, also known as harvestmen, harvesters, or daddy longlegs. And it looks like they've been up in the rafters of this hut breeding for quite some time.
They've been getting it in.
God, there must have been thousands of the 8-legged freaks up there.
I'm looking on the floor now, boy.
But while the sheer amount of these harvestmen look terrifying, they're not the worst pests to have infest your home. Harvestmen don't really cause damage, discounting aesthetic damage, I guess. And while they may frighten your homeowner, they can't bite humans or produce venom. Most of the time, harvestmen will simply head straight for your basements, crawl spaces, and garages. The spiders prefer to live in damp, shaded areas like on trees or beneath rocks, preying on any smaller insects they come across. But if you're not an insect lover like me, you still don't want them creating a furry carpet on your ceiling. So much nope in one video.
Exactly. That's
Ant attack. It was the holiday of a lifetime for biker Tim Zaman. When he made a road trip to South America, he loved everything about the trip. Well, almost everything. While he'd surely seen some crazy things out on the road, nothing was quite so extraordinary as the morning in Mexico he sat down for breakfast and saw this.
holy crap.
It
Are
was
they inside?
thousands upon thousands of ants moving like a waterfall in reverse up the side of a house he was staying in.
Yeah, it won't be staying there. They carry my ass off in my sleep.
As much as that makes me itch, it's also kind of mesmerizing compared to other infestations. So how come ants all know how to move in the same direction? Well, almost all ant colonies constantly communicate with each other when traveling. And no, that doesn't mean they're asking each other for directions. They do this using pheromones, chemical substances released by insects to influence the behavior of other members of their species. When traveling, ants secrete a chemical trail of pheromones for the other ants to follow, guiding the colony in a straight line along the quickest route possible. And if the quickest route possible is through your house, then there's nothing you can do to stop them. In America, there are more than 700 ant species, although only 25 of them will invade your home. You could invest in a few bottles of Raid to try and keep them at bay, but against a colony this size, it'd probably be easier to just move.
Nah, I mean, look, man,
Termite
ants,
terror.
bro, that's the least of my worries when it comes to some stuff like this. Ants, okay, whatever. We can get over that, right? Yeah, you can agree.
Chris the Man Taylor has really earned his nickname. A Terminator for forensic pest management based in Sydney, Australia, Chris is the guy you call if you wind up with some unwanted roomies. He specializes in bird control and, in a true sign of the man's courage, termites.
That's why you must get your house checked at least once every 12 months.
That's Chris now, showing us one of the largest termite nests he's ever had to remove, which was inside the wall of someone's house. But the more Chris peeled away, the more evident it became that this termite nest was so huge it had enveloped every single wall of the room. Termites build these giant nests, which are more like mud tubes, to reach food sources and protect themselves from open air. When out on the prowl, termites eat wood constantly. Like, constantly. 24/7. The critters use their sawtooth jaws to break off fragments of wood one teeny weeny piece at a time, but it all adds up. Each year, it's estimated they cause more than $5 billion in property damage. Now, in an average year, you can expect a single termite queen to lay between 5,000 and 10,000 eggs. 60,000 termites is considered a mature colony, with typical colony sizes ranging anywhere between 60,000 and 2 million. In those numbers, termites can cause extensive structural damage to buildings, just like this one. Thank God the man with a plan was there.
But you know what's crazy though? Like that gotta be a fucked up life to live right there, bro. Just running around ugly as fuck eating wood. Like that right there is like not it. That's not it, man. If I was to be anything, fuck a termite, man. It didn't even look like he had eyes, man.
Stink bug scourge. The day October 7th, 2021 would live long in the memory of an unsuspecting woman in Hanson, Kentucky. Like 84% of American houses, the woman's home was kitted out with an indoor air conditioner. While essential for the sweltering Kentucky summers, the air conditioners also offered an open door to a few unwelcome guests. When she peeled back the security tape, the woman was assaulted by a mass of hair-raising, foul-smelling stink bugs. Panicking, the woman began attacking the stink bugs with a vacuum cleaner. She hoped that would be the end of the gruesome invasion, but the stink bugs weren't going to leave her alone that easily. When she returned to her bedroom, she discovered the stink bugs had already started making her house their new home.
Absolutely not. Oh, man.
Could you imagine waking up to see these creepy crawlies right next to your head? I'd be flailing around like her too.
They carry diseases
However, when you're
too.
face to face with a stink bug, you shouldn't get too aggressive. When threatened, stink bugs release a putrid, noxious chemical from a gland on their abdomen, which they spray everywhere. So they're creepy and stinky. Thanks for that, Mother Nature. Now, these bugs aren't just found in Kentucky, as Jeff from Morgantown, West Virginia discovered.
I just got home to find these puppies all up in my grill.
When Jeff came home from work in 2012, he found his home overrun by stink bugs. It was completely covered in them, and he estimated there were at least a few thousand around the property. But how could so many have appeared so quickly? Well, stink bugs lay between roughly 30 to 100 eggs, meaning they can multiply at an extraordinarily fast rate. To make matters worse, stink bugs have very few natural predators in the US, so their numbers just keep growing and growing and growing. I don't want to freak you out, but if you're in the US, that could mean a stink bug infestation is coming your way very soon. Ladybug lunacy. It was a November day like any other back in 2015 when Roger Stevenson noticed something different about his home in Stone County, Arkansas.
And for those of you that thought I were kidding about 18 billion of them, check this out.
By Roger's own count, millions of ladybugs had swarmed his house. Now, maybe I just don't go outside enough, but I don't think I've ever seen more than 2 ladybugs together, let alone a swarm. Well, in Arkansas, the presence of ladybugs means winter is coming. From the middle of October to early November, as temperatures cool, ladybugs can be found swarming on the sunny side of houses, trying to find somewhere warm and dry to spend the winter. The same stunt is done by ladybug's cousins, Asian lady beetles, which Reddit user Boilermaker105 found out when thousands swarmed his work in Ohio back in 2014. Not only do these beetles release a putrid defensive fluid that stains whatever it touches, it also smells vile, making them absolute stinkers to remove.
I had no idea.
Ladybugs were introduced to the United States by the Department of Agriculture as a biological control agent. So while they can be a nuisance, they are adept at consuming crop-eating bugs like aphids and mites. So in a way, we have a lot to thank ladybugs for, even if they do leave one heck of a mess.
I'm just saying though, hold on, did we create them shits or we just, what happened with that? We got them from somewhere else? We always doing something.
Nest nightmare. With 20 years experience in beekeeping under his belt, professional exterminator Jude Verrett must have thought he'd seen it all. but no amount of beekeeping could have prepared Jude for the sight he discovered in Louisiana back in 2017. Those ain't bees. Those are wasps. And not just any wasps. Yellow jackets.
Oh, yeah,
These
they tear your ass
notoriously
up.
aggressive predatory pests are famous for their defensive behaviors, as they swarm and sting repeatedly if they sense danger. They also tend to build their nests on the ground in naturally defended spots like burrows and crevices. But this swarm had discovered an old shed and decided to colonize the floor of the entire thing.
Still got more nests here. Oh,
Luckily, Jude was more than up to the task of removing them. Over the course of 45 minutes, he stripped the entire nest from old storage boxes and garden tools without getting stung even once. Forget your queen bees. This guy is a yellow jacket clearing king. But this wasn't the last time Jude had to tackle a yellow jacket nest. He was called out to a house in Dulac, Louisiana, back in 2021, where he had to do battle with this colossal hive.
Damn.
Southern yellow jackets. Look in there. 6 feet tall.
The yellow jackets had attached their nest to the underside of a house,
That's
which was
crazy.
up so high, Jude had no choice but to clear it out with his hands.
Oh,
I'm
no.
surprised he was able to reach up that high, considering he was carrying such massive balls of steel. He wasted no time getting right into the heart of the nest, ripping out everything he could get his hands on. And the yellow jackets were not happy. Jude estimated that there were more than 1 million wasps in the colony, which sounds like one heck of an exaggeration. But nests containing millions of yellow jackets have been recorded before. And even though he was being pelted by 1 million angry wasps from all sides, he still finished the job. Now that,
crazy.
kids, is what you call a professional.
That is, bro. That's a damn professional right there, man. I remember my brother hit a beehive with a damn rock, you know what I'm saying? They was on his ass though, y'all. They told my brother to hell up, boy. That's the first time I seen something like that in my life. I seen it in person, bro. It was like a whole nother person chasing this black ass down the street, just tearing him up. So the next couple of days, man, he was just brushing his hair and stingers was falling out everywhere. It was crazy.
Brave. Of all the animals you might worry about infesting your home, you wouldn't think bees were one of them, would you? Well, as it turns out, the hollow spaces in walls, floors, and roofs provide the perfect protection for bees to build their hives undisturbed, and to some truly gargantuan proportions. Back in 2019, the bee experts of Queensland, Australia's Brisbane backyard bees were called to clear a hive in a residential ceiling. At first, they assumed it was a small hive containing a few hundred bees at most. But as they removed the paneling, they discovered a humongous 8-foot-long hive which was housing some 60,000 bees.
Beautiful hive here. Lots of honey and good honey.
Now, unlike their hornet cousins, bees are less aggressive, so the experts were able to gently remove the hive from the ceiling in sections, honey and all, without agitating them. The bees were so docile, the experts were able to vacuum them up into a container for safe relocation.
Oh, okay.
Talk about being a couple of heroes. Mosquito madness. There are insects I hate. There are insects I despise.
Yes.
And then there are mosquitoes. Just hearing one of those little bloodsuckers buzzing around your room is enough to drive you mad.
Hell
But what
yeah.
if your house was infested with an entire swarm of them, like this one from 2014?
Look at the mosquitoes. These are mosquitoes by my back door.
Fuck those mosquitoes.
Look at the door, how infested they are.
Oh, I do not envy this New Yorker. It looks like there are thousands, if not hundreds
Better not
of
open that
thousands
door.
there. If I were him, I'd have set fire to the entire city. Ugh.
Look at them all. It's crazy. Has anybody's door ever looked like this with mosquitoes before?
But what were so many of them doing here? Well, warm and wet weather that evening had provided the perfect breeding conditions for a massive swarm of these particular pests. Female mosquitoes lay their pupa in rafts of up to 300 in stagnant water. The pupa then emerge from the water when it becomes an adult, which, depending on the conditions, can happen all at the same time. So if you live in a warm, wet area next to a source of standing water, be sure to invest in some heavy-duty mosquito nets. You're gonna need them.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I remember, I would never thought of this either, man. My first time on my first deployment, I was at a post. I can say this shit now, man. I dozed off, man. I dozed off at the button. And I'm at a gate, yo. And you know, anything can happen to this gate. I dozed off, man. And these fucking mosquitoes ate me up, man. I woke up, I had over 100 mosquito bites all on my skin and everything, man. This is the middle of the desert. I wasn't thinking that they had mosquitoes, but yes, in any body of water that's anywhere, they would fucking drop their eggs in there and they would tear you up from anywhere. And they be breeding in carcasses. It's insane.
Loco Locus. Making her way through St. Clair shores in Michigan, Katie Williams was gazing out at the routine all-American streets. But all of a sudden, she drove past a house that looked like it had been struck by one of the biblical plagues. She couldn't believe her eyes when she saw this condo was completely covered in locusts. They're on the walls, on the intercom, and you can even hear ones on the road crunching under her tires.
That's crazy.
Gross. Were the homeowners waiting inside oblivious to this? Or had they concluded the locust pylon was a curse from God and fled the scene? Well, whatever they did, it might have comforted them to know that locusts are just a species of grasshopper. While introverted grasshopper species live solitarily, locusts are forced together at food sources during dry spells, causing them to reproduce at a rapid rate.
Don't look like no food
And
right there to
even
me.
worse, thanks to climate change warming up the world, swarms of locusts will only get more frequent. Prolonged bouts of wet weather will create environments where locusts will start to thrive. And as a final cherry on top, nothing can stop them from swarming. I guess all we can do, ironically, is pray. Flee the fleas. You might think all fleas are those tiny blood-sucking insects that latch onto your pets and make them itch. But snow fleas, despite the name,
Snow
are
fleas?
not actually fleas, even though they do jump around like the blood-sucking kind. You might have heard them called springtails, but despite that name, these insects thrive in winter in moist, damp areas.
That's
And I mean thrive. Back in 2012, a man in Alabama heard his cat making some strange noises down in the basement. He went to investigate, only to be greeted by this freakishly festering pile of snow fleas.
Ooh. Get the hell out of here.
He'd never seen anything like it. By his estimates, there were roughly 50,000 of the insidious critters scattered around his basement. Now, snow fleas usually make their homes outdoors, but on occasion, they'll hop their way into your house. And if they find a perfectly moist patch, they'll start to multiply like crazy.
Wow.
Luckily, unlike the other kind of flea, snow fleas don't bite, so the biggest nuisance they'll cause you is their large numbers, just as our Alabaman friend discovered. But wait, where does the snow and snow fleas come from? Well, maybe this will answer your question. Somehow
Imagine.
they look less sinister all piled up. Snowmelt attracts swarms of snow fleas in droves, and because of their dark color, they show up prominently against it. That's enough to put a real blemish on your white Christmas.
For me, that shit is a no-go still, because you ain't no way, bro. Look, you can tell by the color of my skin. I don't trust what the hell this shit just said to me, because I still feel like them shits bite. Just like the people when you goddamn see them with their dog and they be like, oh, my dog don't bite. Yeah, everybody dog bite to me. I let me be the judge of that. You feel me? He might change his mind today and want some chocolate. You feel me? Like, no, absolutely not. But look, man, the worst, look, man, I had these friends growing up. They were cool, you know, like I used to hang out with them every day. We used to do flips and everything, man. And but you know, when you went inside their house, oh my gosh, you can tell like it smelled like they washed their hand, like they cleaned up their house with like dirt, like dirty diapers and stuff. Like it just like it was intentional that their house was that dirty, because we couldn't wrap our minds around it, because in our household, not saying we were the cleanest people in the world, but it was structured and our stuff was cleaned. It smelled like cleaning solutions in certain areas, like your bathrooms and stuff, but their bathrooms smelled like pee. And then to top it all off, man, they had the type of roaches in this joint where the roaches didn't give a damn if you saw them or not. Usually when you see roaches, they run. These roaches were gangsters as a motherfucker. They were chilling on the block. It was all on the walls. It was inside their food. It was inside everything that you can imagine. And they were living like this, like that was normal. When we were in their house, they were just like They didn't have no like type of, hey y'all, you know, we have roaches type shit. They just let us walk in here on the whole roach infested situation. And I didn't like that at all. But look, man, whatever floats your boat, man. If you want to live like that, you're entitled to do whatever the hell you want to do. But yeah, fuck that. But look, man, hopefully y'all like this video. Let me know about y'all situations in the comments down below. I know that I brought up a couple of them. I don't want to keep burning. I don't want to keep roasting people about their situations. But look, man, I see you in the next video. Like I always say, spread love because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. See you in the next video. Check out my links in the Patreon and everything down below. I'm out this thing.